In this video we learn AutoCAD commands and setting. 1. SC, command for scale objects. 2. S, command for stretch objects. 3. TR, command for trim objects. Scale enlarges or reduces selected objects, keeping the proportions of the object the same after scaling. To scale an object, specify a base point and a scale factor. The base point acts as the center of the scaling operation and remains stationary. A scale factor greater than 1 enlarges the object. A scale factor between 0 and 1 shrinks the object. The base point you specify identifies the point that remains in the same location as the selected object's change size, and thus move away from the stationary base point. Note: when you use the scale command with annotative objects, the position or location of the object is scaled relative to the base point of the scale operation, but the size of the object is not changed. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stretch stretches objects crossed by a selection window or polygon. Objects that are partially enclosed by a crossing window are stretched. Objects that are completely enclosed within the crossing window, or that are selected individually, are moved rather than stretched. Several objects such as circles, ellipses, and blocks cannot be stretched. Stretch moves only the vertices and endpoints that lie inside the crossing selection, leaving those outside unchanged. Stretch does not modify 3D solids, polyline width, tangent, or curve fitting information. Base point. Specify base point or displacement. Specify a base point or enter displacement coordinates. Specify second point or specify a second point, or press enter to use the previous coordinates as a displacement. Trim trims objects to meet the edges of other objects. Select the objects that define the cutting edges to which you want to trim an object. Or press enter to select all displayed objects as potential cutting edges. Trim projects the cutting edges and the objects to be trimmed onto the XY plane of the current user coordinate system, UCS. Note to select cutting edges that include blocks. You can use only the single selection, crossing, fence, and select all options. Specify an object selection method to select the objects to trim. If more than one trim result is possible, the location of the first selection point determines the result. To trim objects, select the boundaries. Then press Enter and select the objects that you want to trim. To use all objects as boundaries, press Enter at the first Select Objects prompt. Thanks for watching.